In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting at the Franklin Township Environmental Commission was made by posting on the bulletin board in the municipal building, posted on the township website, and electronically transmitted to the officially designated newspapers, indicating that this meeting would take place in person at 7 p.m. on August 5th. Okay. And then we do a roll call. Yeah. Okay. We have Eleanor.
Present.
She's here.
Is she present? Yeah.
I need to say hello.
Yeah,
She said hello, that's good.
Okay. Walter?
Here.
Ted?
Yeah.
Easy?
He's not here, but he's coming.
He's coming. Stan is
Present.
here. Yep. Arnold?
Hello.
Yes. Robin is absent.
Didn't want me to feel bad.
Maria?
Here.
Tara and Ed and Ted Chase.
Wow.
Ted.
So I'm
Oh,
first
good,
in the
Ted.
attendance?
We got everybody. Right?
Yeah.
The first one now.
I'm so Is used that to being first time? last, because my last name is Vastola. I'm always last.
I just go by whatever. I don't.
Well, you're still in front of Paul.
Right. Yeah, VW. Good point there. Okay. Very short chair report. I just want to bring everybody up to date about an application that we've been looking at for quite a while. The zoning board held a hearing on the Levin proposal to construct a 200 apartment house complex on the site of the vacant Kmart. The August 1st meeting was mainly concerned with traffic and expected trips. There was a lot of back and forth about how many trips would generate from the building. And of course, they got a McDonald's on the corner, and that adds trips to the site, so that's what the whole thing was about. So then we get that anyway. The next meeting will be September 19th. So we get postponed another 2 months yet. Okay. Secondly, I want to mention our motion that we did last time to have a youth representative on the Environmental Commission has been forwarded to the Township Council by Ed Patowski. So now we'll wait and see what the council does. I think our proposed candidate seems eager and interested, but we got to go through the right channels. And somebody, yeah. Okay, so here's easy. Good. Easy. Okay. Let's take care of that. Approval of the minutes from the July 15th meeting.
Motion approved.
to adopt.
Second.
Second. Any comment, changes, modifications, corrections? Nothing? Nobody?
Perfect.
Okay. Motion to adopt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Abstain.
Abstain. Wonderful.
Abstain.
Oh, right.
Okay, motion's
Abstain
passed.
too.
Minutes are accepted. Very nice. Public comment.
Move to
Motion.
Wait, we have
public.
We have public.
Move to the open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Joe Bowman, any public comment? No.
Move to
Okay.
close.
Second.
Move to close. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Closed. Okay. Take care of that. Correspondence. Do you have any letters, correspondence, mail?
I've been checking the correspondence because I got into the EC email. So we don't have any emails to report this month, but I did get into it and it's all set up and ready to go. So that's good
And
news.
I checked the mailbox, and it's been about a month since we've got a letter or anything.
Yeah, they send those usually electronically too,
Yeah.
like with the applications now, so,
Right,
yeah.
okay. So.
Did we have anything last time? Sorry that when did you get access?
I'm trying to think, did I have it at the last meeting?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have it at the last meeting, I had it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so since then, no new correspondence.
Oh, I did get this letter in the mail somewhere. Somebody, Stan, did you send this to me?
Oh, yeah, that's on our
Yes,
agenda.
yes.
Oh, it's on the agenda? Okay, then I'll leave it for the agenda. Okay, so then, you said there were 4 site plans.
Yeah, we have site plans, yes. So we're gonna start with Ted's. Is that okay, Ted? We'll start with yours, Marble. Okay, so Ted did the review. I'm gonna pull up your Marble Builders. All right, you're up, Ted. So it's on, how do you say it, Delar or Delar? D-E-L-A-R.
Delar.
Delar, okay, Delar Parkway is where it's at.
Well, the Crystal was an old character. It was actually Mike Pappas's uncle. He
Oh,
had one leg, but he would speak up in council meetings a lot.
wow, interesting, okay.
I don't know, probably nobody else here remembers him.
Oh,
No.
But there's this big 3-story house there that's now it's a rooming house.
oh, you sent a picture of this, right?
Anyway,
That's this?
but no, what's proposed now,
Oh, okay, let's go. to
this
what's
is a
proposed.
small house that they propose to take down, and it's a rather long, shallow lot along Delar Parkway, and the end toward Route 27 is next to Brunswick Urgent Care.
Okay.
But interesting, and they propose a 2-story house and are asking for a variance for rear yard. But the interesting point is, there was no indication in the plans about vegetation. So I thought, let me go take a look. It's not too far to go.
Okay.
Show the pictures.
The pictures,
I
okay.
took pictures.
So this was the existing house, we looked at
Yeah.
that one already.
So
Trees.
there's some grass around it, and that's at one end, the inner end of the property. The rest,
Okay, let me get the next one. More trees.
weeping willow.
Oh, wow.
Where is the property?
I didn't attempt to penetrate in.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Yes.
Maybe it's a bear.
Is that all, oh, and this one, trees at south, is this the same one? No, that's the same one.
Maybe I did send the same one twice.
No, that's okay.
Anyway.
Interesting.
you know.
Okay.
So all the
This
trees-
one I think is the
Beautiful,
the
yeah.
end towards 27.
So all the trees on the picture are on the property.
Yeah.
Here's the map.
So,
Also, most of the trees.
I meant to email Mark Healy and say, do single-family houses have an exemption from showing trees on the plans? And after all, this is proposed to be a 2-story, 2-family house. It's in the cluster residential zone.
Got it. Okay, I'm just gonna put up the site plan then.
So,
Okay.
anyway, they should, well, I suggest they be pushed to move the proposed 2-story house, 2-family house, more towards the inner end, so they would make more use of a small area that is clear.
Got it. Okay, so they're.
But they ought to have to do a tree inventory.
Yeah.
And they did not submit that.
And there's nothing of the sort. I don't think these guys, it's a small builder, their address is somewhere in Somerset.
How big is the property, Ted?
It's, what is it? I know
Here, I'll
I
look
say
at
in
it.
the
Okay,
report.
I'll get it. It is, hold on, gotta scoot up here.
0.61 acre.
Yeah, 0.61 acres.
Yeah.
The building is 2790 square feet. with a
I
small
thought it
building.
was, for residential, it had to be over an acre or more as far as trees were concerned.
Maybe,
I think that's what the ordinance is. What, did Mark respond back to you?
I haven't, I
What
never got
what
around
is
to
the size of the lot itself?
0.61 acres is
Also, not even
the,
4 acre.
I think they know what they're doing.
It's about
yeah.
30,000 square feet there. Somewhere in that ballpark.
They're proposing though, so there's 2 separate driveways proposed on either
Yeah.
side.
Sure,
Yeah.
yes.
So outside of the finding out about the tree inventory, any other comments or?
No, well, they speak of the existing house having a gravel driveway. Well, that is being generous.
Okay.
There are small rocks there with grass growing up between them, but they should be told to remove that if they remove the house.
To remove the driveway that goes up to
Yeah.
it, the gravel, okay.
Will impervious coverage come into this at all? As a residential?
I know I figured it out, it certainly is within the limits, particularly since this is cluster residential, so
All sorts of ones.
it's probably, the limit is probably 40%.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Ted. All right, that takes care of that one. Easy, you mind if we go to yours next?
Sure.
Or, okay. Actually, you know what, since I'm under zoning, I did the other two zoning and urban planning, I'll just do these real quick, so I don't have to go back and
Sure.
forth, is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay, I did two small ones, that are before the zoning board. The first is Charles D. Filippo. Let me get up my, here we go. D. Filippo, okay, perfect. Oh wait, Ted, did you do D. Filippo? You did D. Filippo?
Yes, I did D.
okay.
Filippo.
You do D. Okay, we're up. You're up for D. Filippo then too.
Okay,
Hit it, Ted.
This is on Gates Road, which is off Demont, and Gates and Ellison there are old side roads. The house is a 100-foot wide lot that's 595 feet deep. So they have area, but what they want to do is put a two-car garage on the side of the house.
Okay.
And in order to do that, they need side yard variances.
Got it.
That would be only 9 feet on the side with
And they'll knock down, they'll take out those trees on the side of the house there?
Oh, yes. I remember this now. Yeah, I remember this. So let's see. He needs the side yard, plus a diminishment variance. What did they say about the trees? I remember seeing something here.
the garage
Existing asphalt pavement.
is to be built where there is presently asphalt pavement. So there's no increase in impervious surface. And
Right.
in fact, it would leave some asphalt pavement behind the garage, and they ought to be instructed to remove that.
Yeah.
That's really about all I can say.
Let me get the site plan. I feel like they were gonna use the existing footprint for the most part, so I don't think there was, no, I'm pretty sure there was no tree removal
I don't
proposed.
think so.
I'm like 99% sure, but I'm gonna just double check. Okay, here we go.
That's just details
yeah.
of there. It's not much of a site plan.
No.
But the heavy line there would be the garage. So you can see the asphalt driveway and how some of it is behind where the garage would be.
So it's like a canopy now instead of garage? So
Is it garage?
No, at present, apparently, there's just asphalt driveway there and they want to build a garage.
So how does he want to get behind the garage when there's
Well, that's
asphalt?
why they ought to remove the
I
asphalt
see.
driveway
Okay.
back there.
They have to remove that.
Yeah,
Well,
this
please.
one also, they're basically applying because they need a variance for side yard. They're supposed to have 25 feet, they only have 9.
From the neighbor?
Yes, however, that is existing. The building is already only 9 feet. from
No,
the-
no.
They're not.
No, the garage
The garage.
decreases the side yard from, I think, 41 feet
Oh,
down
okay.
to
I'm thinking of a different plan.
9 yards.
Okay.
The other side yard is 32 feet.
Okay, yes.
So they
This is
need
different, yeah.
variances for both the one side yard
Got it.
and the total of the 2 side yards.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. So, yes. So did you have any comments on that, or was any comments to
Well,
that?
if they're building where there's asphalt, it sort of removes
Oh, they were
any need
previ-
for environmental
Right.
comments.
They were previously granted a variance, but it's
Oh,
expired.
yeah, they said-
It's expired, that's why they're
Yeah.
reapplying.
There was some warning about the de minimis variance. Instead of 10%, they have 10.016%.
Oh, yeah, that's right, there's a coverage variance down to the level of 1/100%,
Wow.
0.016%.
Right.
Trying to say if anything. The house is centered on the property, which does not allow for the proper setbacks for the addition of a garage. That's why they're saying they need the variance. They're
Yes,
basically saying
right.
the shape of the property does not allow for, you know, a larger garage.
It's very narrow.
So this is a two-car garage, that's what we're
Because
looking at.
the de minimis can be flipped both ways. I mean, why he couldn't design it such that he could eliminate that minimum, right? Why does he have to design it such that he needs the variance?
Well, they're building on the foundation of the existing building. Even if you put it on the other side, it will still be within 9 feet.
It probably
Yeah.
causes more
With one side or
disturbance.
the
So
other.
there's
Yeah.
no way of, if they're going to have an attached garage, no way are they not going to have side yard variance.
Yeah,
And the lot
Right.
coverage, those little sheds back there presumably contribute to it.
yeah.
Well, there's a
But,
deck.
I mean, that is almost the definition of a de minimis
It
variance.
is, yeah. Any other questions on that one? Thank you, Ted. All right, I'll do this one that I did, Gregory Booth, since it's under zoning, and then we'll head over to ECs. That's why I was getting confused, because I'm like, oh, I had a garage also, which I did. 2 garages, okay. Gregory Booth is on 33 Washington Avenue. I'll bring it up in a second. On this one, they want to use the exact same footprint on a 4x10 concrete pad. They want to,
Margaret's house.
what'd you say?
One of my fellow faculty members lived in that.
Ah,
years
okay.
ago.
They want to replace the existing 10x20 garage with a 24x24 garage, which would also have electricity. The existing concrete pad and footprint will be used. The existing garage is within 5.7 feet of the property boundary, as will a new garage, which requires a variance of 25-foot yard setback. So basically almost the same thing, different property. They're looking to use the existing footprint. They're already within the 5.7 feet of the property boundary, so they basically want to replace the garage that they have now with a new garage and let it basically stay where it is, which is not complying with the side yard requirements.
It's like 20 feet.
25 feet.
Yes, but 20 feet more than.
20 feet, yes, more. I can show you that there was really nothing else, no new construction area. The existing footprint's being used, it's just replacing a garage. So this one's kind of straightforward. And this is their plot plan here, let me,
Funny shape.
yeah. So here's their house, right over here, and they're looking to just put the garage back again in this area, and as you can see, they are,
But they're moving it closer to their property essentially.
It
It is a bigger footprint.
it's a bigger footprint, but the side, where they're putting it is gonna still be within the 5.7 feet. So that is where they need the variance. If they were
I see. So
not
they are
doing
they are
that,
not changing the side that is outward.
Correct.
That, okay.
Yeah.
correct. Any questions or comments on this one?
Their grandfather with that.
Yeah.
so-
All right, so then easy, I think you had more of a detailed one, so let me just get to the plan.
You can just open the Word document, that's fine.
Okay. Oh, you are this one, okay.
Blow it up a little more, so I can see.
Oh, blow it up, I'm sorry, they said move it up, yeah, like, got it.
So this is a proposal submitted by Auden Tone, is a company that's trying to build 14 single-family homes on a 16.5-acre luscious green plot with one lot, for stormwater retention and improvements, and a new cul-de-sac. I believe if you look at the aerial view, the plot is vacant. I think there's a single home. I think it's completely vacant. They want to demolish all of it and build these 14 new single units over there. So the variance they're asking is, I don't know whether we have a say in it. They're asking for a frontage, lot frontage variance. I think the ordinance says 200 feet of distance is needed. They're asking for the properties on the cul-de-sac to be 130 and something. So that's the property, I believe.
Yes, this is it, yep.
Yeah.
So they want to have 14 houses on it?
14, yes.
And how many
Single
acres?
family?
Each house of 40,000 square feet. It's a 16.5 acre property.
14 single family
It's a what?
residences.
16.5 acres.
40,000?
14.
14.
Yeah, with 40,000 square feet.
What's the main street there?
Cedar.
Cedar Road.
Oh, it is.
Cedar Road.
So that's across, I believe, from where they're building the 32 houses.
Yeah.
This is Cedar Grove, what is nearby?
Before Ramble, this is
Well,
before you.
Como is just to the south of it. there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
And the
Oh, here's the
the
shell.
intersection with Amwell
Yeah.
is just down there.
right here.
Yeah, the Amber is right there.
This is,
It's
Memorial Forest.
next
Gosh,
to,
went right out of my head.
It's next to lake.
No lake.
this is Como, right here.
The owner of the agriculture on north of it.
This one
is
here?
it- Is it a lake, a Patty Lake?
Uh,
Ted, you probably.
No, the next one is
Patty
Lake.
Okay, the next.
I know, because I remember the shape of that lot,
Okay.
because it
All right, let me put your form
borders
back
on
up.
the creek.
So what's about the existing
Okay.
stuff that's there?
There is no one, it's a vacant property. No one's living there, nothing. So that the variance what they're asking for, if you go down,
Yeah,
it's a C1, C2 variance. They're asking for, so as per the ordinance section 112, schedule 2, the corner lots need to be 200 feet of lot frontage. A variance is needed for 2 of the lots around the cul-de-sac, 133 and 167. I don't know whether we have a say on that. Do we have a say? Whether we can refuse that, or what do we do? I have no clue.
the
Zoning,
zoning
right?
board, well, we can
Yeah.
recommend, one of our comments, if you think is appropriate, we could recommend that that variance shouldn't be granted for whatever reason.
So the reason, if you can go down, so that's the only thing they're asking for, right? It's a very
That's the only
straightforward.
variance they
That's the
need.
only variance they're asking for, but if you look down at the, so this is the property, right? And this is the site plan of the single house units, what they're building. So on the top, the image on the right, the diagram on the right, the top right is the retention basin. That's the single plot. I think they're leaving aside
Okay.
for stormwater management, and everything is built around that. If you go down, can you just go down? So the total acreage of the site is 16.54. The wooded area that they're going to take off totally is 9.7 acres. So if you look at there's a large amount of trees that are going to be cut, and you look at the figure, anything that's striped shaded is what they're going to cut off all the trees in that area.
How many, do
So
they
that's
say
a
how
lot.
many?
All in the next page.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a lot.
That's a lot, it's in thousands.
And
So
then
here, the number of trees.
And then the
2,000?
traffic that it
Yeah,
will cause.
yeah, the traffic.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
of trees on the site is 2,623. They're going to remove 2,436. They're required to replace 2,314. They're only replacing 334, and they're going to pay for the remaining. That's what they said. 1980. They're going to pay
They
for.
still don't charge enough.
Yeah, so it's a big luscious property that's going to
We
get.
charge what, 300 now per tree?
300, yeah.
300.
300
Yeah.
in 1980 is a lot of money.
Depends on when this
This is new.
application.
This is new
brand
application.
new, yeah.
This is a new
But
application.
we have nowhere to put the trees.
Yeah, there's no space on that site to ever put
I mean,
any.
either they give us the money or the township, where the township can put the trees if we are cutting down on the land.
Yeah.
That's kind of primary reason why we are not.
Well, that's
seeding more
500.
It's
trees.
almost 600,000,
Yeah.
it's almost $600,000.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, we're spending about $250,000 for trees on Hamilton Street.
We do. Okay, and we do have some space. yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's a lot of tree removal. I just want
That's
to
a
look.
lot, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's a lot
yeah,
of trees.
so,
such a waste.
oh, yeah, all back here, yeah. Wow.
Is there any way to squeeze more trees
I would
in?
strongly, I mean,
We're gonna be down to 30%
I
canopy
know,
pretty
less and
soon.
less.
Oh,
Okay, anything,
So that's what, I don't know, the recommendation is, I don't know whether we can ask him to decrease one lot, one house, and just leave that
that's-
space.
one is not enough, but
Yeah, but I'm just
it
saying.
is zoned to be residential.
Because they're going to lose a lot of wildlife. There's a lot of wildlife that's going to be
Agree.
displaced. Totally, all that wildlife is going to go, and they're not going to come back because it's so much of
But it is zoned to be.
R40.
They don't need any
Which is-
variances except for the lot frontage, which
Railroad
is,
should be considered to be,
you know, although Cedar Grove Lane is a county road, so they will require approval from the county in terms of the access and
The traffic will be.
traffic,
Yeah.
but
14 houses
I
isn't
think
gonna
we
have
need
a
to
lot.
It's a lot for
revise
two
the
families.
permit.
14 houses isn't going to be a lot of traffic, but when you have 32 houses
and let's say
across the street,
cars per family.
combine those, and that's already a pretty bad intersection there, especially during rush hour. So that'll be something that they'll take a look at.
Plus, there's a temple there, right? There are 2 temples on that street, right? I believe. So I don't know whether that counts.
I believe
No,
so.
no.
There's one I know.
No,
Temples on
no.
what street?
Basin. What do you call it?
Cedar Grove?
I just want to see if there's any, so this is the
No
property.
wetlands. Nothing.
No, I put on the threatened and endangered species layer, and there's nothing there. Not that there's no wildlife there, I just was like, oh, maybe there's a,
No endangered species.
Yeah.
unidentified
Yeah.
species. That doesn't mean that there's not important species there, there's just none identified. A loss of tree. So the other thing I wanted to look at too is you said, I wrote the numbers. It's 24, back up here. 2436 divided by 2623. So they're removing, is that correct, 92% of the
93
trees?
almost.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
chunk.
Wow.
It's almost like.
Literally, they're wiping off everything.
So it's gonna be
Oh.
Heat Island. Because if they're not gonna,
We can mention all that in the
Altogether,
response.
yeah.
Heat Island.
What was your thought about the, you were saying
Impervious.
something about the variance, about we should recommend that the variance not be granted?
There's no shade, there's no.
Or could we, or is that what your
Can,
recommendation is?
can we do anything with that variance? It's just like 70 feet of variance, I think.
It's conforming with the zoning variance?
Well, except for lot frontage.
Except for, but it's allowed in that area. The only difference is the frontage.
Frontage.
That's a hard thing to reject on.
Because they're asking for that variance, maybe we might want to request, to get that variance, that they cut off two houses at the end of the lot or something, so they don't take down as many trees.
Yeah.
Well, if they had one house at the end, then they'd have the frontage and wouldn't need a variance.
That's the thing, yeah. If they take that's a tricky part, because, so if they take that off the table, then they actually don't even need a
They
variance.
take what off the table?
The frontage,
No,
because
no, I'm
they,
not talking about the front.
So the
I'm talking
frontage is
about-
on their cul-de-sac.
I'm talking about trees in the back.
oh, trees in the back, right, yeah.
If you take trees if you leave trees in the back, instead of, you leave, you take out, remove 2 houses that they want to put way in the back,
Right,
and then you don't cut down as many trees.
Can you show the
yeah.
aerial view one more time?
I'm sorry, hang on, let me get back to the other view, because this doesn't help, okay.
With the border.
Are there townhouses or?
Okay, so there are lots of trees in the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
It's on Cedar Grove.
it's on
And
Cedar, but it's.
who owns the property behind it? What is, yeah, that one, what is it
They're
labeled?
gonna make a
by?
new street.
No
What do you
trees.
say, hang
So we're
on.
talking
There's hardly any
single-family
trees in
homes?
Because
No,
I
single
think that
family.
somebody will be
14
also
of them.
It's gonna be a
thirsty
lot of
about the road that, because it doesn't have any trees.
Sewers, water, electric.
Doesn't have any information about who owns, I could look on the other system.
No, I'm
Like
not
this
asking
was
too
a
much.
retention
But,
basin.
but that lot does not
There is
have
no
access
retention.
to.
They're creating that one
to it,
lot.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah.
This lot, no.
Yeah.
This lot, yeah, where are they getting in from, this lot?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't figure that out.
Mystery
where they're getting it
access.
from.
There's no access.
There's gotta be
Over here.
access.
Oh,
Is it through
over the
Elizabeth?
corner.
Oh,
No,
yeah, on the line.
Go down a little bit.
At the corner,
Yeah, right
Yeah,
there. Right, there's an open area.
Oh,
Yeah, that
there.
one.
But it doesn't look like a driveway.
No, we would have.
So they're.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Take the
What?
2 lots?
No,
It's
that's-
off Elizabeth, there's somehow, it looks like
Yeah.
getting in through here. Maybe they have like a shared access or something with these guys.
Well,
That's
some of
bad.
that, I think the township finally required.
It's a lot of trees.
Too many trees, too many.
Yeah, I like the idea of not
So they'll take that out,
developing the
the buildings
last
to-
section, yeah.
You got two buildings there,
Yeah.
that they're gonna.
Yeah, they're proposing to demolish and everything. Oh, let me get the plans out. That's what
It's
I mean.
almost 50% of all trees, the rear part.
Subdivision. Okay. That's bad. That's really.
Yeah, that one, that one.
I'm like, that's a lot of trees removed.
But the trees
people
being
plan
on
like-
that side,
The big trees.
they will be providing
Take
shade
decades
when
to grow.
sun is setting from the
And
west.
they prevent erosion, they keep temperature down.
Yeah.
Minimum lot frontage for the corner lots is all they need the
And then he said
variance
why
for, it's
not?
only the corner lots. They are proposing 133 feet, they need 200, otherwise they comply with everything apparently.
And parking spaces in there.
They should
it takes a whole-
move
They
the
said
side
corner
from-
lots, that would be the ones on fronting on Cedar Road.
So,
Right.
so
Okay.
what I'm
It's not
saying,
the cul-de-sac lots.
what I'm saying is, Tara, this is all trees back here, correct?
Yeah.
So
So
if
what
they
they
put
have
the
to call it
cul-de-sac, they cut it short, put the cul-de-sac here,
Right.
and you don't have these houses here, that's more trees that you get to keep, that they don't cut down.
I agree with you
And I'm just
100%,
saying,
yeah.
use that as leverage to give them their variance.
Right.
Just make that recommendation.
I hear you. The only thing is with the, and Ted, you probably know better from being on the zoning board, the variance they're requesting is not one that really, I think, would require that much pushing to get. You know, if they're
Yeah.
only short on the frontage by 70 feet.
We can still ask.
Yeah.
We can still make the suggestion.
I almost wonder if we could, I'd have to look at the zoning. Could, I mean, well, zoning
I
would do
think there will be
this.
more pushes to cut down because
Yeah.
the traffic, I don't know what the fire safety would be like.
Well, they'll look at that, planning and zoning will look at that, yeah.
So combine forces and things will happen.
Especially during construction, that's the only way to get in and out, right?
Right.
That's the only way to get in and out.
It's scary.
We're gonna need a light at the corner.
And that part of Cedar Grove is just 2 lanes, it's not,
Yeah.
no extended
Right.
lanes.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
I heard about this a couple of months ago.
You did?
Yeah. They were gonna be making a request. Because of the sewage stuff,
What's that
They're doing
one?
14
there's a
houses.
sewage
How does that-
situation where
how's that come to 14 houses?
This is just the back portion they're showing.
Oh, this is back.
Oh,
And
just
then the
got a
front
line for it.
portion, yeah.
Okay.
I just wanna see if they have like the tree removal, not that, we really, I mean, how much.
Keep, it's probably on
Do you remember
Yeah.
reading anything in there about their sewer systems?
They have a report card on the sewage.
What'd you say?
He's asking about
Oh.
the sewage system.
No, I've heard about this a month or two ago, maybe longer ago, and there was an issue with I think
The wastewater?
the wastewater management, the sewer systems, and what was gonna be done with that.
Maybe they're not in the sewer, they gotta be in the sewer service area. Over
They
there.
must build
Yeah.
it.
Now, of course, they
Yeah.
won't be able to
Dry
build some
wells,
of the
yeah, dry wells
houses
is-
until we get the water permit.
Is it wells, is there no, the sewage, they get dry wells?
They have
I
to
think it
build
was a matter of having to have it, I'm not exactly sure, but there was talk about maybe, I don't know if it was a pump station or something,
Interesting.
and who was going to be responsible for it. There was something. It's not really our responsibility for that, though.
Yeah, 'cause under engineering and.
Yeah.
Let me see if they put something in here. Property survey, fully executed sewer access
Why
agreement.
don't we see what the environmental assessment says?
Okay, hang on one sec. Let me just, I'm sorry, the internet here's gonna switch slow tonight, all right? So there's a sewer access agreement in place.
Yeah.
And it's terribly flat area.
And that's the 32 family homes there.
Yeah, this is, oh.
That's the one across the street.
Right.
Are they, they're teaming up with them across the street
Yeah.
to get the, so that they'll, because that one across the street probably also has to like pay for extending the pipes or whatever.
It was a matter of having some kind of a 40-year
Yeah,
deal or something that they would be responsible for. I don't remember all the details. It was something like
Interesting.
that.
okay, all right, so that takes care of that one.
So that, the environmental assessment.
I was gonna say, oh, no problem. All right, let's see. All right, environmental assessment. What do you wanna look at in particular? Vegetation?
295, see.
Deputy summary.
What's this say? Project, soils, we wanna get, here we go. Vegetation and wildlife. Previously disturbed former farmland, vegetative community, it goes on to list what's here. The 16.54 acre site contains a woodland 75% canopy at this point. Site contains individuals ranging from less than 6 inches DBH up to greater than 20 inches DBH, individuals scattered in the treed area. MEA representatives did not observe any outstanding or unusual species or specimens during the tree inventory. They're saying they see some invasive species,
Yeah, poison ivy, yeah.
and that's all I have to say about that. Oh, wildlife, here we go. Suburban disturbed sites are not typically habitats suitable for diversity of wildlife. The following list of wildlife can be expected to be present in urban disturbed areas. Then they list this, which probably came from I don't know where.
Are they talking about wildlife that are permanent residents?
What you would typically see, they're saying,
Yeah, I mean, they don't take into account migratory?
No, I don't think so, no.
Danger of threatened species.
No evidence of sightings of
Oh.
threatened or endangered species. Okay. Utilities.
They have a conclusion at the end, I believe, somewhere.
A new 8-inch
Okay.
water main will be extended to the existing main to serve the 14 new developments. Water is, yeah.
This was at least, this is a more thorough environmental report.
Yeah.
than Usual.
Soil erosion, there's not currently an issue, it's not an issue because it has the trees.
Right, right.
Not the-
I'm just
It's
looking
gonna
at
be an
the-
issue when they don't.
Oh, here we go, destruction of vegetation. Now, the project's implementation requires approximately 9.7 acres of tree removal. Destruction of vegetation decreases the available suitable habitat for resident wildlife. Habitat loss results in reduction of native wildlife species.
Dispersed in neighboring areas.
Proposed planting plan provides some mitigation for the loss of vegetative cover and wildlife habitat. The plan incorporates the use of materials that afford limited habitat for resident species. Planting of native trees and evergreens provides a nesting and resting area for birds while providing shelter for mammal species. But they're only planting, what did they say, 300 trees?
334.
Yeah.
And small tree, 6 feet, I believe.
I think cutting on the 2 houses at the end has another good benefit because the property that is next to it that doesn't have any trees.
No trees.
Somebody could come up with an idea to extend it and make development, use the access road, cross the cul-de-sac and keep developing behind. So
Well, here's the landscaping plan. So there's not much really to see with the landscaping plan, but it looks like the trees that I have to reduce it just a smidge, okay? Along the edges, they're proposing to plant some trees and then, shade trees along their access road and cul-de-sac. So yeah, the plantings are basically going in along the property boundaries. and then along the road, that's gonna service the development.
So this, the method that the developers come in, they come in and clean, sweep, cut everything. So they don't want to take the time to just go, oh, we're going to build a house here, let's build an access, clear the trees there. It's just clean, sweep everything.
Yeah, it's easy for them.
I know. That's how I got my house in Piscataway.
How big are these houses? You like house?
40,000, the lot's
No, not the
40,000
lot,
square
the
feet.
house.
is 40,000.
The house itself is, 40,188 square feet. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, no,
I'm
that's the lot.
talking about the house, I'm talking
My
about the
bad.
houses.
Let me, I
Are
have to
they
go to the other
2,500
plan.
square feet or?
Let me see.
2,000.
Let me see if they wrote it somewhere, which would be nice.
I'm asking because I'm wondering how much they're going to try and sell these houses for, and if it's going to cost them almost $600,000 for trees. If they realize it's going to cost them almost $600,000 for trees.
Yeah, which is divided by 14.
It's one house.
That's-
Yeah,
That's,
I'm sure
they'll
they're
sell
happy
one
to do
house
it.
for maybe
Could
more
be.
than that.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if it's like anywhere,
There is living area.
2,600 square living area.
Three-car
square feet.
garage. Huh.
It's not
Three-car
counting-
garage.
That's what I said, it's not gonna be one.
These are big
car per
houses.
home.
They are. Let me
So
get
we're
the
talking
exact
about
number of the
14
house
times
because I
three?
thought maybe it would be somewhere.
Like 50 cars.
What's that? That's 3 cars,
like-
14 houses, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. So they say, probably,
They don't say anything.
they don't say what the size of the house is. I
It
have to
was
go
on,
back
yeah,
to
it was on the
plan.
drawing.
You know,
Interesting.
what's more important than the size of the house, I think, is if they all have 3-car garages. It's a lot of pollution in
Yeah.
that area there.
Yeah.
We ought to recommend that all the garages be equipped with EV chargers.
Yeah, well, that's given, but
If they can afford 3
Interesting.
cars, they can afford a
Yeah,
charger.
they need
Yeah,
to
and they can
have
afford
only
those
level
expensive houses, they
two.
can afford.
Yeah.
Has your own charge?
EV
With 3 cars.
chargers, yeah.
which means that the entire area has to have enough power
Right,
Right,
to account for EV charging.
yeah.
yeah.
Why won't they tell you how it's?
I thought it was on one of the
Maybe we
It
drawings.
probably is, but they really should say it on like this application.
Yeah,
It'd be
the
a lot
application is
easier.
nothing. They said there's a cover letter, but I couldn't find the cover
I
letter.
know, all right, let's see. Okay.
They need to have more than 1 megawatt
First
power
floor,
extra.
we can figure it out, because
Just
they don't
for
rate the whole
electric
thing.
vehicles. Megawatt.
First floor on this one is 135. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, 10 times 14, okay. I made one decimal point.
What is the?
How will that impact the
First
rest of the
floor?
electrical
140
system?
kilowatts,
Ground floor.
140 kilowatts.
Basement floor?
If you
or
consider
bottom
10
floor?
kilowatts
Why
per
don't they
house.
tell you? Why don't they just say the whole, so I'm gonna have to like do the math on this, because instead of them just writing how much it is,
Wait, it's 130.
135.25,
It looks like an
hold
application where you
on.
put everything to see if it sticks.
No, the lot is 40,334 square feet.
Almost an
It's
acre.
not-
Where the heck's the house?
All right.
Sorry, Arnie, I'm trying to find it.
It's not that important. I think
It's just not readily available, which it should be. Like, how much is the house? All right,
It's one of the other drawings.
I'll keep looking.
3-car garage.
But easy, you said you couldn't like easily, it wasn't like readily available.
No, I couldn't find those things.
Huh. Well, this is approximate, I guess, I don't know. I don't see it. Okay, so I got
Oh,
the 3-car.
Look at architectural plate.
I did, it was just the actual drawing. What's revised sheet 839? I have this for comments, you know, that we recommend keeping as many trees on site as possible, not having the back 2 lots is an option, right?
I mentioned it because of a heat island effect.
Mhm. Yes, heat island effect, tree canopy loss, loss of wildlife habitat.
so. You're saying suggest not having the 2 back
Yeah.
houses there
I don't know.
to keep the trees.
They won't
Yeah,
like
I was
that.
gonna say, I don't know what, we can definitely suggest it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, at
Um,
the very least, if they could try to move
I
those
see, yeah.
houses as far forward in the lot
Yes.
as possible, they can maybe leave a strip of woods at
In
the
the back.
very
And I
back.
can see them in the
Yeah.
summer complaining about the heat.
Then for the
Right.
3-car garages,
Air conditioning.
we have, they should have EV chargers, equipped with EV
Yes.
chargers.
And they need
That's
to
a
reserve
risky
capacity,
two-car
10
garage.
I
kilowatts.
was gonna say the same thing, can we recommend that they should only be 2-car garages or no?
Or at least ask them why.
Why is it
three
three
cars?
cars?
Why 3 car? That's
Because
so
people use garages for storage.
Not only that, I think because there's no place for guest vehicles to park.
Oh, because they
Remember?
can't park
They
on
have to
Cedar
have
Grove
people to park.
Lane.
If there's no
Right.
storage, is it on a
You
concrete
can't
slab? There's
park
no
on the
basement?
street there.
No,
Not on
no,
Cedar
no.
Grove Lane, the county
No, no,
road.
not on Cedar Grove Lane, on the new street that's
Oh,
there.
you probably can, but you know, I'm sure.
Right in front of the, right in front of the
Yeah.
house. I mean,
Well,
how many
apartment,
people, when
if
you
it's
have
a
a garage,
driveway.
when
Right.
guests come over?
Park in your garage.
Park in your garage?
I know.
I mean, that's not
No,
something.
no.
And they might have a little driveway, right? In front of the
They do, yeah,
So that,
at minimum.
you could add 3 more cars, that makes 6. I'm just,
Okay,
They don't usually build thinking of parties.
closer to the road. Should we ask for more information on the actual, like, size of the proposed houses? Although they didn't submit a site plan, they just submit the subdivision, so.
I don't think it's that important. You know, as long as they're, in the, maintaining the appropriate impervious coverage.
Yeah. Anything about, they're not required, obviously, to put solar up or anything? Any,
Can you
suggestions?
say solar ready? Can you
Right.
put that on residential?
So
Yeah,
already,
you can recommend it.
That could
Yeah.
offset the EV charging station.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
already means that the roof needs to be shaped such that it
Right.
is friendly for.
Right.
Oh, good, yeah.
Because they have complicated things on. the
Panel
roof.
adaptable or
Well,
whatever.
no, it's a
Ready.
matter
Yeah.
of wiring largely.
Wiring, yeah.
Speaking of which, I just had solar put on my roof.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Finally.
Right.
How long is that
So
gonna
speaking
last?
of power, they need to add 140 kilowatts worth for the EV charging. Essentially 10 kilowatts per house.
Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you, Easy.
Could you just tell me one more time how many trees? I think you said there were 2,620.
The Word document has it.
Yeah, so they're on-site existing 2623.
Right.
moving 23.
They're proposing to remove 2436.
Over
And these
90%.
for,
36, which is 92%.
That's obscene.
Do they show any trees around the detention basin?
Yeah,
Just strip it down.
that's always a good place to put it.
I think they did.
Not many, I don't
I
think.
didn't see.
Which one? I think that was 16 to 20. I feel like it was far down.
The second or the third one, I believe.
Yeah, is this lighting?
No, yeah, the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they're going to plant how many trees?
334.
300.
Detention basin is at Cedar Grove Lane, yeah.
334.
Yeah, something like that.
And how many will live after they've been
Do you not know
planted?
that?
Yeah.
They're
You
required
gotta get
for
to the
2
right
years.
side.
It says turf though. Where's the tent? It is on the cedar. Am I on the back end here?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Gosh. Here's the front end, right?
Yes, the front,
There we
yeah.
go.
That's the
Go
entrance.
down a little further to see
Upside
the
down.
lot. Yeah.
So
They
not
got
many
just
trees.
4 trees along there, that's all. They could put more trees there. Maybe, let's say a little lower.
And if these trees are
Yeah,
that
yeah.
close to the
Yeah, like
intersection,
1, 2.
they will block the view.
Well, also they could have plantings in the detention basin
I was
that will
wondering about that.
help purify the
Agree,
water.
yeah.
And also absorb.
They could look at the B9 plants.
Instead of a sand bottom, they should have gray. They got a sand bottom.
Yeah. That is interesting. We can definitely recommend that, more plantings in and around the basin.
Yeah.
Well, you have to use the appropriate trees, like,
Right.
willow trees
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I was thinking more of the sort of plants that you have in a rain garden.
Yeah.
I think I did my math wrong. If they are cutting down 2,023 trees and they're replacing 334 of them. That means there's,
No, they're
No,
cutting down.
2436 is what they're removing.
2436.
There's 2623 on site.
They're removing 2436 or something?
20, so it's 2623 minus 2436. They're only proposing on planting 334 of what they're required to replace, which is actually, easy wrote it here.
130,000.
Easy said they are required to replace, according to our tree ordinance, they would be required to replace 2,314 trees. They're only planting 334 of those, which is a deficit of 1980. So that's 1980 times 300 is where you get the 594,000.
okay, 594,000.
Yeah.
That's almost 600,000.
Yes.
All right, we'll get that one out. Thank you, Easy, for doing that. All right.
That took a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you could recommend they
I
talk
just
to
did it
us
this
about
evening.
about planning
before-
and
before that.
detention.
Yeah, definitely.
I
let's
mean,
do
this
that.
is, we've moved beyond these cut grass detention basins.
Agree. I agree. Alrighty, that's that.
That completes the site plans. Okay, thanks to all three of you for doing this.
Wow.
Okay, so new business, pursuit of electric vehicle and adoption leadership certification. Is that what this was about?
Yes, so I could bring more information, but anyway, so this is a DOE funded program now that is, and the certification program was developed by Forth in Oregon, and within New Jersey, Easy Ride is the implementation party. The EVAL certification is a certification for employers who implement sustainable transportation and commute options for their employees. So it involves lots of action steps, just like Sustainable Jersey, with the focus on EV charging stations. But it also includes things like pedestrian-friendly, bike-friendly environment, collecting points for charging stations being Energy Star certified, whether the charging stations are shared with the public and things like that. So the charging station that we have here was not really meant to be for employees, but inherently the township is employer. So they can be considered as an employee benefit. They are not ripping off the customers because they charge very little. I think it's like $1 per hour. I think it's now per unit of energy. They reprogrammed it, right? And so the township can get easily silver certification. It's just my estimate. It is rather easy to actually file it because that website, evalcertification.org, a person who is in the position within the township, which I think would be Tara, can register, answer a few questions, and the township will get the certification. The certification is free until end of October this year. After that, it's going to be paid service. And the good thing is also, it doesn't require recertification. So once we get the certification, it will stay. You can see on the wall, we have the Electric Vehicle Award. Went back in 2019, we had EV show. We got it from KMM. Oddly enough, Key Middlesex moving, right? We are on the summer station.
So to get this to work,
Mhm.
would the township have to allow employees to use the
They are inherently, employees can use it.
police can use it? Oh, okay. So
Employees like a manager, accountants, clerks, engineers.
how about anybody? Is the
public.
that makes it even better.
No, I'm not
Because
talking about the public, I'm talking about anybody that works for the township.
Yes, yes.
So it would have to be written in there that anybody could use it.
I think it's already given because
I don't know.
it's public. Public means also
It is a
employees.
public station, so
I'm
yeah,
not
that
talking, I'm not
one.
talking about the ones across from the library.
Yes, those.
Well, those are already public.
Yes.
I was talking about the ones
No,
in the
no,
back there.
no.
Oh, no, I think those
Although-
are just for the police and DPW
Well,
vehicles.
Well, I thought that's what we were talking
No,
about.
no, I was not talking about it, but since you opened it, if the town reserves maybe
Uh-huh.
2 spots, because they don't use them, they are heavily underused, right? So if they say some of them can be used by the employees, right? That will actually increase the certification level because the certification is calculated as some sort of loose percentage of how many parking spots are equipped with charging station versus how many parking spots we have for our employees.
How many, by where the police or wherever the town uses, has those other stations, how many stations are there in the back there?
10,
There are 10 back there.
10.
Wow.
And technically right now, they would be good just with 2 of them
Yeah,
because they use them so little.
right. So they could be using 2 of them and 8 of them could be for employees.
Yes. Not that we have lots of employees who
That's true.
drive
but
electric.
You don't know.
But
you still put it in the application.
Yes, yes,
If the town allows it,
yes,
that they're available.
yes. And it would be maybe better to deliberately designate some of those to be for employees, and you are not tapping into the allotment for the public. You leave the public for public, and those in the back, 10 out of those you designate 6 or 8, depending on, will then decide. That would be for the employees, and that would certainly make the township look even better.
And I think you'd probably want to put it that it's for employees only during working hours.
Forget it, that's a detail.
It's a detail. No, it's a detail, but
Yeah.
it's easy, if the town wants to charge their cars, they can put their cars in there and charge them overnight, because we know that
Oh, that's okay.
People will.
it's a way to coax the township to allow it.
Yeah, well, and again, if the charging stations that are designated for employees are available for public outside of those hours, that gives you more points. When I was talking about the public stations, that inherently.
Well, that's
public,
24/7 there.
That's 24/7.
Right, yeah.
Also, I don't know if this counts, Dan, or not, but at Inman Park, we have an EV charging station, and that is public.
It is public,
Workplace,
but it's not workplace.
It's not workplace, right, okay. But at DPW, we also have, that's really.
Yes, so
would that count?
what we can do, the eval is actually recognizing sites. So if a company has more sites, each site has its own certification.
So the
Which
DPW would be a
means
separate
They would
certification.
have, so there is a bulk of questions that you answer, like, do you have sustainability plan, right? Do you have travel policy? When somebody travels, you encourage them to rent electric car versus that one. This is all together. But when it comes to
Got it.
counting the actual charging stations, it's site specific, right?
Okay.
Do we know if any of our schools have electric charging stations?
know,
No, they
actually.
don't, but I would bring it to them separately.
The
But they don't, they don't.
The library on 27 is talking about a charging station.
Yeah, I know, yeah. When they have it, I'll tell them to get it
Yeah.
eval
Oh,
certified.
yeah, he's right.
Well, I remember at the time the plans were approved,
Yeah.
we noted that they deliberately did not include a charging station.
Well, they have wires sticking out ready for the charging station.
Ah.
But the way how it is, you have the building, then you have the parking in front of it, and the wire is sticking here as opposed to there, so that you can charge only the one vehicle next to it.
Yeah.
Unless you extend it here, it'll be kind of on the sidewalk in front of the library, but then you can have one nozzle here, one nozzle there, and you can charge at least two vehicles.
The chairman of the library wants to get not a level 1, level 2 charger.
Well, yeah, but level two.
Level 1 is just your house car.
Right, he wants
No,
a...
level
2 is,
Yeah.
But are you talking about the fellow who wants to have a fast charging station?
Yeah,
in place
Nick
of,
Nick Champ.
Nick Champ, yeah.
Yeah, he's the chairman of the
And
advisory.
everybody's telling him forget it, and he still doesn't get it.
Well, I think from what Stan you submitted, it
Yes.
looks like it's relatively easy to
It
do
is
it.
easy.
So if everyone wants to pursue that, if you make a motion and then I can talk to Bob Bornlocker about it, I don't know if the application requires like a resolution or something from the township council, I can definitely get that, that's no
Yeah,
problem. If not, I mean, we probably could just submit for certification and if we get it, so.
Yeah, so I move that the environmental commission supports that township gets eval certified, electric vehicle adoption leadership certified.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion from anybody else? Okay, all in favor? The choice to,
I'm adding it to the to-do.
right, okay.
Where's that document that's up on the screen there?
Oh, that's the stormwater, that's the wastewater,
Oh, from
the
last-
sewer access agreement that I showed you before,
No,
yeah.
I just saw the engineering firm, the name Menlo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have so many tabs open here, it's incredible. Okay.
Okay, micro-mobility study that your area.
Yes, so on Friday night, I received the draft of the micro-mobility study. I finished reviewing it today. I am going to give, so I had some paper copies made. I had to have them made with color because of the mapping that's in there. So I'm going to give it to Stan, Paul, and Chris Gonda on the Trails Committee because they're kind of the subcommittee. However, I can give all of you the link and you're welcome to print it out, or if you want to, it's very easy to review, honestly, on the computer, it really is. But anyway, since I just finished reviewing it and we're still awaiting comment, I'll just give you a quick look at what it looks like. So it's in PDF right now. When you print it out, so I'll pass around the printout. Ignore my writing for right now on this, but when you print it out, it's basically printed out like all in landscape page, and it has all the maps. So I'll pass around here, and while I'm passing, I'll just talk. Let me give you another copy, so we don't have to. You can pass these around to look at. Here, Paul, pass one that way. And I have it up on the screen too.
Wow, these are big,
Yeah.
that's a volume.
It basically goes through what is the definition of micromobility, what are the proposed routes that we're looking at, and it's basically bringing people from the eastern part of the township, specifically from near Naaman Williams Park and the youth center, over towards the municipal building. So those are the two proposed routes. Our study area was confined to the two routes. It's not a township-wide study. It could maybe one day lead to a township-wide study, but the grant money we had was enough to cover, studying two main corridors. It talks about shared mobility in terms of scooters and bikes. The map right here, for example, let me see if I can blow it. It's hard to blow it up on the screen, but this is the existing conditions map in the study area. So this is the study area that NV5, that was our consultant, looked at. And so the study area includes up here is the DNR Canal, State Park. You got Amwell Road at Hamilton Street portion is right down here. And then this is the border over here with New Brunswick. And you can see here's Naaman Williams Park for reference.
And did you say it was from there to the municipal building?
Basically, yeah, there's two routes I'll show you that have been identified to basically get the general area of Naaman Williams Park over to the municipal building. And then the thought is that once you get to the municipal building, you're also going to pass some open space, the youth center, you can get to the library and the township building, and then hopefully from here, you could maybe in the future at some point we can figure out how to get you further down, or you can connect to other types of transit.
Where is the
from here.
municipal building there?
The municipal
Way over
building,
at the
yeah, it's all the way
library.
over here.
So right up top there is the football
That's
fields,
Middlebush
soccer
Park.
fields up there.
Yes, Middlebush Park is here, yeah.
So can it be extended so they can get to those fields also?
Well, yes, so we can definitely talk about that. I guess the thought right at this point is to get you in the vicinity of the municipal building. So once you're near the municipal building, you're pretty close to these fields. And in the future, yes, we definitely want to expand that. So for right now, this is the study area here. This is the micro-mobility network. So this, when it comes around here, you'll see better. But this kind of shows where the transit stops are, where the county buses are, if there's a bicycle boulevard proposed, which is these yellow. And they talk about a bicycle boulevard later down the road. It's a safe area that really promotes and encourages the use of bicycles for people of all ages and abilities.
So places where people might want to stop, whether it's a bus station or whatever, are they going to be bicycle, bicycle racks?
Yes, and that's talked about in here. Not only bicycle racks, but bicycle lockers. They call them corrals, which is basically you take up the size of a parking space for one car and you make it so that people can actually, it's a place where people want to put their bike because it's like got a safe area for locking it. It's away from traffic. It gives ample space for people, so that's like called a corral. There's a lot of different maps in here. This is an overview of the proposed routes. So you can see one is they've called the New Brunswick Road to Highland Avenue route, and one is called the Middlebush-Williams route. And as you go through the maps in the study, and I'm going to send you all the links so you can take your time and look it over, but as you go through, you can kind of see they're shaded. They talk not only about bicycle racks and places to store your bike, but also places to share and rent bikes. Increasing the shoulder, painting, striping for safety, putting traffic calming devices in to slow down traffic. So it's not just, hey, here's the best routes and we're going to put this in. It's also talking about different ways to promote safety along those routes. The good thing, for example, about the Naaman Williams Park and Middlebush route that we really liked is it actually proposes going past some schools. So there's a path that actually would go right between Hillcrest Elementary and Franklin Middle School. And then you're going to pass McAfee, you're going to pass Inman Park where there's a pathway that goes up JFK Boulevard. So there's lots of ways to get back and forth here. And you make your way over to the municipal building. So that's just one example.
So for these paths, is it going to be, it's like this is the road and then on the side of the road is the path?
Yes, where that's possible, that's the goal. It goes, so every map has a table like this, and it kind of goes through exactly what they're proposing at each site. So
there's bike lanes.
Yes.
So
shared mobility lanes.
Right. So what I've seen in some places where instead of just having a yellow line or white line or whatever to show this is where the bike lane is, they have a small curb.
Yes, that's an option. That could be, there's many, they've basically given us a lot of different options, which is great, but painting, striping.
Sorry.
Let me just show you one example of so this is map A1, for example, and this corresponds to a portion of the area that goes toward Middlebush Park. And each map in the plan has a corresponding table that basically says, okay, see, it's labeled number 1, right? So if you find number 1, it explains in detail exactly what does this entail. So it's basically saying, here there's a mid-block crosswalk by ordinance, there's 2 driveway access points on either side, and then their recommendations here is they consider installing an RRFB, which I forget the name of the whole thing, but basically what it is the motion activated where the pedestrian or the biker can press a button, and not only does the walking man come on and gives you extra time to go, but lights might flash, sound might come on.
I'm seeing lots of benefits that it will slow down traffic in some roads where it's excessively fast, like on JFK Boulevard. I'm very near. And I'm seeing here the path Burger will get to JFK, and then it will continue on Buttonwood, I think it's called.
Yes.
And so that area, and they will have to implement crossing somewhere there.
Yes.
And I think it's so much needed because people are crossing JFK in that area a lot.
Right.
Because people who are in that area west of JFK and they want to go back and forth to Inman Park.
Yeah.
So it will have more benefits than just for
true, very true.
bikes.
Some of the other approaches that they recommend are providing advanced warning signs at least 150 feet before the crosswalk. This one I was showing you before, the crossing at DeMott by the municipal complex, they say consider removing the right turn slip lane and reducing the curb radii to slow vehicle movement. So some of their recommendations are actual road improvements. Some are signage, some are lighting, some are, so it really, they've tried to really, and that was one of our requests, is really please look at it comprehensively, not just like give us a list of, you know, road improvements, for example. So an example of what you were talking about, Stan, is on A2. Is that what you're looking at? A2?
Actually, I was mistaken. I was thinking about the entrance to the Inman Park. But
Okay.
This is actually Burger.
Got it. So Burger, if you look at A2, so for example, number 7 here, they're saying Burger Street Bike Boulevard. That's a very, Burger Street Bike Boulevard. If you look over here, they're basically saying their recommendations would be add bicycle boulevard components, which are considering reducing the speed limit to 25 miles an hour, consider improvements such as striping, which are allowing travel lanes that are 10 to 11 feet wide. Daylight all corners. Daylighting corners is basically you paint an area near the corner that prohibits parking or stopping or standing there so that it provides sight distance for cars and for bicyclists and pedestrians. They're talking about marking off the crosswalks with high visibility striping, provide ADA compliant curb ramps, and consider traffic calming measures such as horizontal and vertical deflection. So that's like some examples. So I'm not going to go through everything only because I just finished reading this today and I want you all to have a chance to review it, but I'm going to send you the link.
Okay.
And what I would ask, let me go forward just a little bit. They give some pictures and examples of like what are some of the striping treatments that they recommend. So there's a lot of visuals in here. The RRFP is rectangular rapid flashing beacon. So that's what it means. They give us references as to where we can actually find information from the state of New Jersey about what the requirements are for this type of device. They show us traffic calming measures. Then they talk about this is a bike corral, so you can see it shows like that takes up the space of one car, but it allows for 8 to 12 bike parking spots, and it's actually set off the road so bikers don't feel like, oh gosh, I can't pull over, or I don't want my bike to get hit or stolen, you know, things like that. They recommend bike repair stations, which we already do, which is great. They show all kinds of bike share programs here and bike corrals and things like that, which are pretty interesting. What else? And then they give us very site-specific
Recommendations.
maps that are zoomed in exactly to the area. So for example, Middle Bush Park, they're literally talking about here's the trailhead. We think number 1, you should put a bike corral here and up here, and that you should also consider reallocating parking spaces up over here in number 3. So they go through extreme detail in a lot of our areas that are proposed. And then they also provide some next steps and additional recommendations, and a lot of those are community engagement based, which I thought was great. So kind of finding out how do people travel in Franklin in terms of micromobility, what's missing, where are areas we should focus on, to figure out what our priorities should be and things like that. So the next steps for us is I'm going to email you all the link. It's 44 pages. I will leave your comments by the next meeting because I have to get them back to the consultant so we can meet our deadline. I'm also going to give it to the Trails Committee because they're kind of like partnered with us on this. And then we'll get our comments to the consultant. He'll finalize the report. And then after that, the consultant will come and do a meeting with us and the public to kind of discuss, hey, this is the plan. This is like some recommendations. We're going to now work on prioritizing it and maybe implementing some things. And that's that.
What comments are we looking for?
So if anyone who has my copy probably sees my handwriting is terrible. A lot of my comments were grammar. I didn't really have many substantive comments. But if you see something that you know for sure is like, oh, wait, I know that this area here is very dangerous, for example, because cars come, like that kind of comment. If you see a grammatical comment, please address that as well. But if you are in an area that they're proposing to do something that you think would not be appropriate, or something that's missing, that would be a great comment as well. Like, appreciate that. And that's it.
Okay.
So if by the next meeting, you can send it to me early if you'd like, or if you want to talk about it at the next meeting, that's fine. I'll get them to the consultant, and then we can finalize this plan, and then we can have like a public session on it, basically.
You don't happen to have any extra hard copies, do you?
So I printed out 3 copies. Well, actually, you can have my copy if you want when I'm done with just typing up my comments, if you don't mind, like having some writing on it.
No.
Okay, I'll type it up and then I'll get it to you.
Okay.
That works? Okay,
That'd be
great.
good. Yeah, see if we can get a couple more copies.
Yeah, I didn't want to print too many because they're, expensive, and because we have to print them in color, which is, but I can definitely share mine, and then if you have any problems you need, I could definitely, print more.
I mean, I don't care about printing them in color. I'm looking at the words and.
I hear you. Well, I'll give you mine, this way I don't have to print one more, because mine I finished, I just gotta type up my comments. So, yeah, I was very pleased with it. I thought it came, from what I reviewed, I thought it really was good, and I thought it was very detailed.
Yeah, that was what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will share that all with you, and then you can let me know.
Okay. Promotional, that's what we talked about last.
Is that
AC.
Tara's?
Yeah, you can-
Don't you need that?
I do. If you want to look at it right now, you can, then I'll take it at the end or whatever, and then I'll give it back to you. Unless you want
No,
to.
I don't want to look at it
All
now.
right, so then, yeah, send it back, and then I'll give it to you. Awesome. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Promotional and educational items for the tabling events. We had some of them here at the last meeting.
Oh, there were 2 copies?
Yes.
Yeah, we have that.
So at the, Stan, you keep one because you're on the subcommittee for that, so you keep that one. Unless you don't want paper. If you don't want paper, then give it to Arnie. So, awesome. Okay, cool.
There we go.
Then that works out. But so Stan, you'll review yours digitally then. You're okay with that? Okay, great.
So you'll send us the,
And I have one for you and I'll send it around. I'm gonna send the link to everyone
Okay.
soon.
good, okay.
Maria, yes, so at the last meeting, there wasn't a lot of us here, and so you had put together a list of promotional materials that we should use for the budgeting, now that we have the budget. I just gotta get it up here. So what do I have it under? Are you communications or education and outreach? You're education and outreach, right? All right. Let's see if I have it here. Education, no, okay. Sorry, I have to think. Recommendation, here we go.
Okay.
Got it, okay. So Maria and the education and outreach team put together a list of items that we should consider purchasing for tabling and promotional
You
items.
did, right?
Yeah, that's the.
I have it up here, yep.
Yeah.
At the last meeting, we didn't have a lot of people here, so it was recommended we talk about it at the upcoming meeting.
Oh, okay.
Let me just check, so let me just check one more place for something, give me 1 second. I want to tell you the exact amount of money that we have in the budget now. So the budget's been passed, so we have funding that we can use for,
Some of those things.
oh, not this one, I clicked the wrong one, I'm sorry. Okay, what did we request here? Education signage, $650. So if we want, we can start talking about which of these we want to order. The one thing I will say is the printing bid expired on July 31st. So we are currently seeking responses for our printers. As soon as we get those in, they get approved, then we can order from them. So right now, we couldn't place an order tomorrow. But I think by September, the printing bid should be approved and then we can order. So that's just a little delay, just so you're aware.
Okay.
I know Robin has been really interested in this standing rectangular banner. That's like the banner that it almost looks like a screen. You pull it up and it has.
Roll
Screen
banner,
is
roll
covered,
banner.
Yep. Stretched tablecloth, that was one that you said it actually wraps around the
Yes,
table.
yes.
Yep. We are gonna get a tablecloth from our energy efficiency grant, but it won't be that stretched one. They only give like the standard tablecloth, so just so you're aware. So that's not saying that we can't order a stretched tablecloth, I'm just letting you know the one we get is not a stretched one. Polo shirts for the commissioners, that's to basically wear, at events or whatever, so you can kind of identify yourself.
The code.
Thank you cards with the FTEC new logo, and business cards without a specific name, just that it has the FTEC website and email. So if those are all things that everyone's interested in me pursuing, I can definitely get quote. The first step is I basically have to get a quote from the vendor. I can tell you how much everything is, then we can pick and choose what we want. once we know what we want to order, we do need to send like a spec to, you know, the printer so they know what they're gonna print. So that, those will need to be, like the standing banner, for example, we gotta figure out what we want on it, same thing with the tablecloth. Yeah.
The cards you said will have, I guess, a web address. Does the FEC have a QR code?
Do we have a QR code? I don't know.
Well, QR code you can develop
I mean, you
instantly,
get your QR reader on
what do
your
you
phone,
want?
click
What do
it.
you want to encode in it? Is it the website or email address, or what do you want?
I would think, wouldn't you want the website?
Yeah, I know we can create one. I know for sure we can create one. So that's
Oh, I
an
had
easy
somebody
thing to
do it for the CIHC. She did it in 5 minutes.
Oh, you can do it even free online,
Yeah,
but our
yeah.
IT can create one that'll like, you know, so that's no problem.
Okay.
I don't see a QR code.
I have
so-
seen a situation that somebody gave me business card, and the QR code was such a fine resolution because it had lots of information embedded in it. The phone would not read it, so we have to be careful.
Okay.
When you have it on the screen and you enlarge it, your digital device will always read it. But once it's in print, it may not print nicely, neatly, and you don't know until it's in print.
Okay, no, I understand.
So-
So we didn't have any problem with the CIHC.
So my comment is that we want to have only a simple message which will
Okay.
cover the website.
Okay,
Because you can have a QR code where you embed your contact information. And then when you have lots of little fine divisions.
I just
yeah.
suggested it.
Yeah, I like it.
Tara, I just went through this with another group I'm involved with the business card things, and they were generic, except for the president of that organization. In this case, it would be the chair, who the chair might have his or her name on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't object to that.
That's a good idea. So I guess the point is right now is everyone, I'm sorry, Paul.
No.
Where's your page? Here we go. Does everyone want me, once we're able to like get prices on these 4 or 5
Yes.
things, is there something on here that everyone does not want? Or something missing, I guess? But I think this is a great start.
I think
We've been asking about business cards for a long time.
Yeah, I think this is a good start.
It's a way
Yeah.
to get to them. You have to write your name on it, but it'll work.
Are you looking to do things for handouts at different things, like the night out thing, National Night Out thing, which has been canceled, by the way?
Yeah, a lot
That's
of
been-
people, a
I
lot
guess,
of towns have, yeah.
I guess expecting rain, but are you looking for things like that, to hand out at things like that?
So this isn't on, it's not on here right now. I guess the standing banner would be educational in nature, but we could also, we have money in that printing budget unless so we probably should hold some back in that printing budget for things like that, printouts
And we need
and.
it-
We have
need to
Franklin
know.
Day coming
Well,
up in September.
This isn't a printed thing, it was something, the same organization I'm talking about, they were getting pens with the name of the group on
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And the,
Yeah.
and the website, or, whatever you want on,
Yeah.
on one side, the name of the group, the other side, the website, there's, as a handout. And
Got
think
it, I
was-
get it,
I think
yeah.
it was like,
Okay.
it was, like 60 cents a pen or something like
Okay.
that. And they were,
Yeah.
relatively nice pens.
Yeah.
So you got 500 for, $350
Got
or
it.
whatever it was, something like
Yeah.
that.
We
And
could
just,
definitely look
something
into
for
that.
handouts.
Yeah, so the Trails Committee recently
Have a good pen.
ordered, it was a really good giveaway, actually, we actually gave them all away, it was a great giveaway. They ordered these whistles that you can use on the trail to if you have an emergency or whatever, so we did like a walk with a cop, and it was really smart and it worked out great. So yeah, so doesn't have to be a pen, it could be if you guys want, but if there's something you think of, we could definitely do that. And I think once the printing bid comes in, I'll be able to see what exactly can be printed, because there's a lot of options, but.
I
yeah.
just got this pen the other day from El Forno Restaurant, and it's not only a pen,
I thought that was like.
but it's
Flashlight.
also,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
also a
those
flashlight.
multi-purpose.
And we had 25 of us for dinner, and the owner came out and gave every one of us a pen with his name on it.
Well, I think with the flashlight on it or the light on it, probably cost a little bit more.
I would think,
Okay.
yeah, I would think. I'm sure it's an LED, but it's still, you're right, there's more circuitry.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so once the printing bid comes in, I'll look into it, and I can at least start getting quotes for these kinds of things, you know, how much is it per item, and then we can figure out how much we want, but at least we know this is what we're gonna start with, okay?
But Paul, I get your point, it's good advertising for the restaurant,
Yeah, of course.
or who, you know, whoever's name is on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Mhm.
You see, it's for inference for certain. That's the.
Yep.
You watch the same channel. Okay.
Got it.
Now, we already talked about, a little bit about the annual environmental congress, but,
So we talked briefly, so Maria said she's interested in attending the Environmental Congress, the ANJAC Environmental Congress, yeah. We also have money in our budget to send some of the members. We asked for.
How many days is it?
Hang on one second here. Oh, $750 is set aside for not just the Congress, but for educational opportunities for our members. I believe it's $125. It's one day, September 27th, from 9 to 4, and it's at Rowan College, Burlington County campus. So it's in Mount Laurel.
that's a long, it's a
That's
long.
awesome.
So, right, that's what I'm.
So we're ANZAC members, so it's $100 a person. So if anyone's interested, we have money now, we now have our budget, we can send some of our
I don't have
members.
vacation.
Okay, but if anyone's interested, you just, for us to pay for it, the township has to register you,
When-
we have to do it, so if
When
you're
is the
interested.
deadline for registration?
Let's see here, I don't know if they give a deadline.
I know I gotten a couple of emails,
Yeah, I
but
have to.
I haven't really focused on
I would have to persuade my employer to send me officially.
Yeah.
In which case they would pay for it. In which
Okay.
case I could not represent the Environmental
Right.
Commission.
It includes
Thank you,
breakfast
John.
and lunch.
Oh, what's this? There's at least $10 out of 100, right?
So I know, Maria, you said you're interested, right? So I'm gonna find out about registering you. Is there anyone else now? If this, you don't have to go to this, we have, you know, you can maybe, if there's another opportunity that anyone's interested in.
Which
we
day
can
is
look
it
at that
again?
too.
It's a possibility.
September 27th,
7, huh?
Friday, September 27th, from 9 to 4.
Mm.
You gotta look at the
Because on
calendar.
26, Easy Ride has the annual awards event. By the way, if we submit the eval and get it done, you will be invited for the annual awards
Oh.
on the day before, on 26.
Oh, okay, all right. Where's that, do you know?
Kenilworth. It's Galloping Hill Park and Golf Course.
Oh, yeah, I knew where that is. Yeah.
Okay.
You or someone who represents the township,
got
but
it,
I
yeah.
think that would be you,
All right,
because you would be making the
Yeah.
record, right? Yeah, okay.
yeah, that would, yeah, okay. Well, so what I'm gonna do, since we know, Maria, you're interested, I'm gonna start moving forward then with your, unless you wanna give it,
I have to think about it.
Okay, think about
When
it.
you told
Okay.
me this.
good.
so let me know,
What was
and
the
if,
last day to give you a
I mean, I would
Friday?
say let me know by the end of August if you can.
Oh, by the end of August?
Everyone can let, well, I mean, really, before that would probably be
That
better.
would- I
Let's
would
make it
love to,
August
but-
21st, just
Okay,
for.
August 21st.
If
Okay.
you can let me know by August 21st, this way I can tell our administrative staff that, you know, they can register everyone on one purchase order, it'll save time, it'll make life easier.
Okay.
Ellen, you too, you know, you're eligible if you wanna go.
Is any part of it available
Maybe
online?
we should.
It's
Maybe we
not,
should.
and that's one thing that Ellen
Because
asked,
have you
because
ever
the
been
distance,
to
it's not
this
available
event,
online, I'm
NJ
sorry.
Congress?
Yeah.
During COVID it
It'd be good
was,
exposure
but
for you.
in person.
Yeah.
But what about you, Ted, are
Claire
you
Schluck,
going or no?
okay.
Oh, I usually go.
Do you wanna go, the environmental, represent the environmental commission, or?
Well, I could, or you can, or I can go separately and you save the money for somebody else.
I mean, if someone's gonna go represent us there, you know, think about it, August 20, just everyone let me know by August 21st, I think would be best.
Okay.
How many people can go?
Well, so in our entire, for the year budget of educational opportunities and educational you know.
Including the swag, the stuff that we are ordering?
No, that's a separate line,
Okay.
so 750, but that includes, you know, like going to other conferences and things like that, so 750 for the year.
And it doesn't include the membership to NJ?
It does not. It doesn't include the
Okay.
membership, and it does not include the
Well, we
materials.
typically don't have expenses like that, right?
No, this is the first
new.
year we have a budget with like line items, so yeah, so.
So since we are members, the fee is 100, so you can technically get 7 people. That's a lot of.
You could, but then there would be no other
Yeah.
funding until next year. So if there was another conference, say that
That's what
someone's like,
I'm saying.
I really want to go to the solar,
Do
you
they have, they
know.
have others one, right? So, from
Yeah.
India, so.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So, do we have
Thank
any?
you, Izzy.
Okay.
Not easy.
Izzy, thanks for coming. Okay. Are there any reports from subcommittees? Maria?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, because I was gonna say, I just, not really a report, I email, I forward the e-mobility.
Yes, thank
video
you. Yes.
to Tara and Robin, and also, Robin sent an email about, the possibility of a film, but, Stan is taking the lead on that, because he already.
Well,
So that's-
I was not here last time. Did anybody report on our status for the film showing?
That was.
Probably not, because I didn't copy. I mean, I did, but are you done? Because I can.
I'm done.
So we had pinpointed July 8th, right, for the screening, and we had to cancel it because what was it? Common Ground. We have only long version,
Right, right.
which was like, is it hour and 40 minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
And we don't want to exhaust people. There will be shorter version in September. Okay, so we'll do that. I had also an Asbestos City. I kind of regret that we should have, because Asbestos City was shown at Princeton Film Festival or something
Right,
earlier
right.
this year, and maybe we should just promote it as a, we endorse it and just go there, because that was the actual occasion for someone to see it, because other than that we cannot bring it here.
Right.
Maybe we don't want to, I don't know. But another was something about coral.
Oh, yeah. I
That
forgot
was
what it's
brought to
called.
my attention by the lady from Montgomery.
Okay, yeah.
Not the Vasilevsky, but someone else.
Okay.
Because they after all like the idea of cross fertilization, that these towns have some screening, that all neighboring towns should be promoting it, and
Got
so
it.
that we invite residents from the neighboring towns. So that's how I got to know about the dying coral or something.
Chasing coral.
Chasing coral, but there was a similar problem. The full film was too long, and the short version was not really available. There was something on YouTube which would be okay, but I was not quite sure. It was a half an hour kind of presentation by the author, which was mixed up with sections of the film shown. So I think that this is something that we want to keep in our mind. But no, other than that, I didn't prepare any specific report. Oh yeah, Robin sent us link to screening. The screening will be in Monroe.
Right, yeah, okay.
In Middlesex County, and I think that what we want to do, we want to mail to our mailing list now, since you have access, and just invite our audiences just to go there. It's not too far, it's free, and it is environmental. What is the title of it?
Remember, or I can look at it. Let me look into that.
Do you know which place it is in Monroe? Is it where in Monroe it is?
I know we went to something in Monroe.
Yeah.
And it's in September.
What, 8th of September?
Oh, Monroe Library film
Oh.
screening, September 13th.
That's right, 13th,
And
it's
offer
Friday.
I was gonna say, hopefully it's on a Friday.
Yes,
Yeah, it's from 2 to 4.
But it's important, it's a screening and author talk, right?
Oh.
The
Yes.
Green Amendment.
Oh,
Oh, here's
Cool.
the story, the Green Amendment.
Where's
Oh,
the
yeah,
Green
we
Amendment?
had
And
a
she sent us the
presentation.
link to register.
And here's the link.
Yes, the
Online.
link is included there. It's from 2 to 4. So it's a little bit into the working time for some of us.
Oh, we're gonna be working, yeah, but it's okay,
Okay.
it is what it is.
I can send it.
But I'm going to steal the hours from my employer, I'll go there.
I just gotta put an email up so I don't forget.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, good, thank you, Stan.
So,
Anything in hot topics or things we haven't covered?
Yeah, I wanted to bring one thing up. I think
I have something to, go ahead.
I sent an email, I think Paul and Tara were both copied on it. This had to do with property at Pierce and Elizabeth.
Yeah,
It's the second property in where last year they just cut down all of the
you're talking
trees.
about, you have at Schoolhouse Road?
No.
Oh,
I'm
that's
talking-
31.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah. it's-
Southeast corner of Pearson, Elizabeth.
I don't know southeast, but it's right across from those condominiums or apartments. Yeah, it's, I think you know where I'm talking about, where they cut down all of the trees. We had talked about it here, maybe it was Shade Tree last year. But they cut down many, many trees. It was a whole tree lot. I think it's 5,
31
7
Schoolhouse Road, right?
could be that. I
Yeah.
don't know the number.
schoolhouse.
No, not Schoolhouse.
Should be
No,
Pierce.
31 Schoolhouse
That's
is,
another one.
that's another one.
It's a
That one they
Pierce.
were okay, that one they took down all those trees
Yeah.
and they did that plan. The plan was approved before it was
Anything.
changed from $30 to $300.
Right.
Got it.
So they cut down all those trees.
I think they're gonna take down the building and build a
Yeah,
new building.
they're putting a warehouse
Yeah.
It's Elizabeth and Pierce, right?
Elizabeth and Pierce,
Yeah.
right.
Got it, okay.
Southeast,
I don't know what corner it is. If you're
across
Oh,
Cornwall
down by
Communities.
the gas station.
Yes, Dan.
There is a gas station.
No, there's
on
no gas,
Elizabeth.
there's no gas station.
That's down further, where Joe Danielson's office is. It's down
It's
Yeah.
it's way up from Joe Danielson. It's at Pierce Street.
Up
Up
here.
means south.
Yes.
If you're coming from Joe's place, you make a left on Pierce Street. There's a building right at the corner there on the right.
Yeah.
Right after that is a property that
Oh.
used to be all trees.
Uh-huh.
Last year, they cut down all the trees, and they didn't go through the process of saying anything to anybody. They didn't have to pay the $300
Stewart
a tree
Steel
rate.
Protection Corporation.
Is it this one, Arnie, the one that's up on the screen? This-
Stewart, no,
I believe that's it right there, because that white building, that's Elizabeth there?
This is, yeah, on the left is
Yes,
Elizabeth,
Pierce.
this is Pierce.
So that white
That's
building there,
Stewart
right.
Steel
So,
Protection.
yeah, right. So all of those trees that you see there,
Uh-huh.
from the building to the right, they're all gone.
well,
Jeez.
on my picture, I don't see that.
Because you got an updated picture, it looks like.
It's gone.
Wow.
oh,
Eh,
So last year, they took down all the trees.
okay.
And they went through some process.
Yeah. Mm.
They went through some process that they said they wanted to farm the land. And they got approval from, I think it was the county, to farm the land. They had to go through whatever process it is. And now they're selling it. And to farm the land, I believe they had to farm it for like a year or something, before they could do something with it. My understanding is that they took a brush hog, which is a big lawnmower of some, they planted rye on the property, so that was their crop. But it's my understanding that they just plowed that in, they used the brush hog and just mowed it all in. So the question that I was bringing that I think I sent to you guys and other people, was if they didn't sell anything, did they farm? And if they didn't farm, then how do they get away with not paying for cutting down the trees? And if they didn't farm, are they able to sell it at this point also. That I didn't put in the
I mean, how-
email
I think
because
the,
How
I thought I saw somebody say that this went to the attorney, to Raynone, but I thought you were involved in that
I
part of
don't
it.
recall that,
I don't
and Paul
either.
doesn't
I
either,
don't
but
remember
I do,
either.
because when I searched you, that's why I said, oh, 31 Schoolhouse, but what you're saying is interesting, because you think they planted rye, which is interesting
I know
to
they
me.
planted rye.
Okay.
Bob Pluskis planted rye on it.
Okay, so we would have to look at what the agreement was reached, and I guess the attorney would have to do that, because if they were required to say plant like a cover crop,
Mhm.
then rye could fall into that, and a cover crop would,
Right.
the operation would be mow it down,
Absolutely.
let it go back into the soil, not necessarily sell it.
Well-
Or does the agreement require them to sell something?
Well, it's like, and I use this example because it's the only one that I know. Christy Todd Whitman, many years ago, it was in the news that she had farmland tax
Yes, I
assessment
remember
on a
that,
big
yeah.
property,
Yeah.
and she got it because if she sold $500
Yeah.
worth of something crop, then she would get that farmland assessment. And so what she would do is she'd cut down trees and sell firewood and sell $500 worth of firewood, and she would get the farmland assessment. So that was what brought me to the
Yeah.
thought that, do they have that farmland assessment, can they just mow it into the ground, or do they have to actually sell it and show receipts that they actually sold some crops from it?
So it's interesting. So with farmland assessment, the goal is to show that you've sold. However, there are some, I would say, exceptions. Like for example, if you can show that you've had crop damage and you weren't able to sell anything for whatever reason, that could be an exception. A cover crop, I'm not sure how that relates to farmland assessment, because you are planting it, but the purpose is to basically root the soil and put nutrients back in. So
Yeah, but if
I
you-
would have to look at the tax assessor's form
But I
to
think what
see.
they want to do is they want to sell it
Yeah.
to build something on it.
Right, I know what you're
Right,
saying.
so
It's
they
like,
don't
yeah.
need the root system for that.
Right.
So the whole idea
Yeah.
of this, it sounds like, I don't know, but it sounds like
Yeah.
they could have done it just to, if there was 2,000 trees there, they cut them all down and they didn't have to pay $300 a tree for each tree that they cut down.
And they just plant it in the meantime, is what
Right.
your concern
They,
is.
they
Yeah.
put it off for a year, they planted rye for a year.
How is it zoned?
Let me look it up on the other
That would
system.
be business and industry.
That's interesting, yeah, so the agreement, if because it's not under, if it was farmland preserved, they would have to maintain farmland assessment, which would mean they would have to sell something, right? But I don't know what the agreement is that
Mhm.
they came to, so that's the question right there.
So
What did they come
If
to?
this is business zone, then the
Yeah, that'd be a business zone.
tree rules apply. So what's the?
Yeah,
deal?
but they try to do an end around here by,
I didn't know it exists, such a thing, what you described.
yeah.
And this is swirl
Neither did I
inside.
until I looked into it and found out about it.
Interesting. I really am not sure about that, but, so you haven't gotten an answer on it yet?
No, I think maybe it was Steve Galuli, because, she's on Shade Tree and I brought it to his attention. And maybe he's the one that said to me that,
It could have
emailed
been.
me and let me know that it was sent to Raynone.
Possible. It definitely could be possible. Yeah, I don't recall, and you said, Paul, you don't recall,
No,
right?
I don't recall that.
While we move on with the meeting, I will see if I
Yeah.
can find an email from Steve.
50201-701, okay. All right, let me see what I can find in the meantime.
Okay.
That's crazy, yeah. That was gonna be the thing though, why were they, and who would have that information? I wonder if Mark would have it, Mark Healy. Maybe Mark Healy would have it, I can ask him.
Yeah, you should, yeah. Okay.
But did you say that this was more a county agreement?
Oh, Ballo, okay, yeah, B-A-L-O-G-H.
Okay, and guess what?
What?
31 Schoolhouse?
Also Ballo, yes,
Yes.
okay,
Ah.
that's who the owner is.
Yeah.
So,
Can you make certain?
I actually went to the he came here and tried to find out, because I had heard that it might be the same property owner, but we couldn't find it on the, whatever
Fallow.
maps they had, so I'm glad that you
Yeah.
just, you came up with it nice and easy, I don't know why they couldn't.
It's zone B and I, so it's in the business and industry. What else can I'm just looking to see, is it is farmland assessed? I don't see the
I wouldn't
qualifier
bother
on it.
getting the
It's not
farmland
qualified as
assessment.
farmland assessed. Huh.
He's a crook. Can you do reverse search what he owns in the town?
I don't know if I can do that from here. I've never done. I'm not sure. I could try and see. I'll definitely try and look and see.
Just to
Here's
kind
some
of get an early read on what else can we expect from this guy.
When did you say these were cut down, you thought? In April?
No, it was last year,
Last year.
Well, these are April.
because I remember talking about it at
Yeah.
Christmas get-together last December.
Interesting. Department of Fire, oh, this is Department of Fire Prevention. Okay, so that's.
Yeah, that was a separate email here
Yeah.
about the 31 schoolhouse. So that was, I believe, a separate
Yeah.
string of emails that
That was
I had
separate.
brought up. And I think, oh yeah, and you looked into that one.
That
and
one,
found
yeah.
out that it was approved before the change from $30
Right.
to $300. So it was right around, it might have been the same day, it was right around the same time that I sent these.
Open up that inspection report again.
This one here?
Yeah. I think there was some stuff, a whole bunch of stuff to check the no. Yeah.
Attic, basement, roof hatches, skylights, exit signs. All right, let me do a little like digging into this and see what I can find out. Now I know what this is. I'm sure I can find out tomorrow probably.
I'm seeing a lot of emails regarding the 31 schoolhouse.
Yes,
but
that we talked about.
But I
that
haven't found,
remember. This is, the address is 411 Elizabeth Ave.
410.
I don't have, it's
It's a year later.
wait a second, I don't think it's Elizabeth Ave, it's a Pierce Street, it should be a Pierce Street address, I would think.
It's listed as 411 Elizabeth Ave.
Is it?
It's the same, it looks like their access is off of Elizabeth Ave, so.
Because the white building that you showed on that actual map, the one that you had the trees on,
Well, if they have frontage on Elizabeth, they can claim
That's
it
Stewart's
Elizabeth.
field.
I don't know if they do.
The inspection involves that building.
Yeah.
The Stewart's, that's.
Maybe those trees in the back there are part of their property, I don't know, so maybe it is Elizabeth Ave.
gone.
It's all gone? Are the trees behind that white building gone also, Stan?
Oh,
Just tell me, just tell me.
No, it's like it's cut.
Are the trees behind the white building at the bottom there, are they gone?
Yeah, they are gone.
Okay.
You
so-
mean south of it?
Okay, south, all right,
Yeah.
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 Oh,
You're like, I don't know about south or southeast.
Well, now I can see that's north and
Yeah.
this is south. I can see on the map which is north and south.
Interesting. I'm trying to see where the heck is their driveway. I think that might, that can't
Well,
be
that
it.
probably does give them,
Yeah.
that gives them frontage on Elizabeth
Oh,
Ave.
About half of the
Here it is.
property has
Yeah.
been cleared.
How many what?
Half of the property was cleared.
Wow. Okay, let me see what I can find out about that. I'll look and, let me put that on my list.
wow.
Interesting.
No, it's supposed to be a farmland, it should be the price of it, but there's no.
Okay, I'll check it out and see what I
You
can
know,
find.
you want to find exactly what the requirement
Right,
is to
right.
avoid paying for the trees cut.
What was requirement? Okay, I'll find out.
I can't find it'll be easier for me to look at it on my computer where I can
Yeah.
look on, just, it'd be easier to look on my laptop.
All right, in the meantime, I'll see what I can come across.
Okay. Okay, so then we move into old business.
Old business, I'll just run through it real quick. I don't really have any major reports on it. The energy efficiency grant, they did send me these postcards. So this is like an example of some of the things that we'll get from the grant, like outreach. So see here, it says coming soon, join our campaign to save energy. And then it has a QR code and the link to the website. So once the website is up and running, then we can start handing these out. So these can get handed out on Franklin Day, for example. They're working on putting the website together now, which should be, to us soon, which is exciting.
How many of
really
these do we have?
I forget how many they said are in here, 250 maybe?
I mean, do you have more packets?
No, I just got this in the mail, just this for now.
Okay.
For the entire program?
Well, this is just for now, because it's like a coming soon card. Then we'll get cards that say like, visit our actual website, like with the thing. So yeah, we'll get more stuff for sure. That's just like the first thing. The green infrastructure projects at Nathan Williams, I met with Carl, a month ago. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. He is he was planning on doing elevation measurements into the wooded area. Carl Haupt from DPW. He was gonna do elevation measurements from the path into the woodlands to see, so we can kind of get a cost estimate and materials estimate about what can be done to work on that ponding area. So I'm waiting on that. And then any other old business. That's all we have left.
Good.
Could I come back to?
Oh, gosh, yeah, sorry, Walter.
No, I see the governor's calling for the Environmental Excellence Awards, and they're due by September 14th. But have we had any history or ever looked into that? Or know anybody around who has received those?
On the governmental side?
I mean, it could be an institution or individual. It's very broad.
We got one
Oh.
when John Luce was the open space coordinator, and I can't remember really what it was for. I mean, this is over 20 years ago.
Are you talking about the
But I remember going to Trenton.
Governor's Environmental Award?
Yeah, Environmental Excellence Award, yeah. They say they, over
I
the
got
history.
it a couple years ago.
You did?
Oh, nice, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, here,
Are you?
Oh, here, past winners. Let's see. So you, in Franklin, we got one too, you're saying, Ted, right?
yeah, way back. Really? Oh, my goodness.
Interesting.
It's called.
Let's see if I can find, if it was,
I have it on my resume.
Hello?
I found
I'm
an
in a
email,
meeting.
Tara, so whenever.
Call you back?
oh, you want to forward it to me?
Whenever, when you, I'm not
Oh,
sure,
okay, good.
I'll read some stuff to you.
Oh,
Okay.
good, we just talked about you. I'm at the environmental meeting, so. That'll work. That was the chairman of the library commission.
Oh, nice.
Okay, what I got was New Jersey Governor's Jefferson Award.
Oh,
My
okay.
daughter got one of those,
Oh,
the
awesome.
Jefferson Award.
Jefferson Award
Yeah.
in 2022
Very
for
nice.
environmental stewardship.
Yeah, that's a countrywide Jefferson.
Good for you,
My daughter
Stan.
from Rochester got one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats.
You got one also?
No.
Oh,
No, I say congrats.
Yeah.
I got it at the same time as Heather Fennick.
Oh, okay.
And I was actually,
Oh, look, the East Brunswick Environmental Commission was a past winner of what you're talking about, Walter.
Yeah.
That is just probably the
Yeah, they have a
commission should
lot of
apply
categories.
to be
One of them is the Governor Florio Award.
Oh.
My goodness.
I
Interesting.
actually wanted to nominate
The commission.
Robin.
Yes, she's great.
Yes, we
yeah.
can, yeah.
Do you want me to look into this, Walter, and see if there's something that,
Well,
would be
I
worth?
don't know, we might want to aim for something, but certainly if we do something that is worthy, we want to make sure we get it in.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I'll look and see what the criteria is and stuff like that. I'll keep it up here.
I saw, yeah, they,
Well, you said the New Brunswick one was for?
East Brunswick. It was
Oh,
in
East
2003, but the East Brunswick Environmental Commission, they were given an award for, was it in 2004 or 2005? I just saw. Oh, like the Sourlands Planning Council. Looks like they won for clean water.
Oh,
and schools, they have schools too.
So it is different one, it's not the Jefferson, right?
No, this is a different one, yeah, this is for.
This is different, yeah.
The post service.
Yeah, the postal service, yeah.
But it's
That's
the
not
Environmental Excellence Award, but some of them have names of individuals
Yes.
to highlight what,
Look,
you know,
Ocean
the
County
categories.
Ocean County, yeah, look, Cub Scout Pack 30, I think this is, oh, here we go. So the East Brunswick Environmental Commission won the Healthy Ecosystems category
Oh, yeah.
for doing a vernal pool protection plan.
Wow.
Oh,
I'll look into it and see if it's, you know, but it's something to keep in the back of our minds anyway.
All the work you did on the energy plan.
Yeah, the
should
energy
qualify for
plan, something like that, yeah.
micromobility
Right?
study, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I think
Set
one
up-
person
set up
did
with
win
yours.
though, you're right. Oh, there's a Richard J. Sullivan Award, Walter Mugden won. The first DEP commissioner.
Oh, he's from EPA.
Yeah, in his final role EPA, yeah.
And then the governors.
Oh yeah, and here's the Florio Award, yeah, all that, okay, cool.
Climate,
Wow.
watershed.
Yeah. Neptune Township, Team Wilderness,
Do you get anything besides a plaque?
I don't think so, it doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, Ocean County Department of Solid Waste Management won. All right, good, I'll definitely look and see what their requirements and whatnot are.
Good.
There's a lot out there.
All right, I think.
So let me just
Go ahead.
get back to this. So I found an email here, it's a string of emails. And I can forward this to you, Tara, but
Okay.
I'll read this for everybody here. And this is an email from me, Monday, July 22nd. We were advised in the below December 3rd, 2023 email from a township employee. This property on Pierce, just east of the property at the corner of Pierce and Elizabeth, made an application to the County Agricultural Development Board so they could farm the property. Franklin has the right to farm by ordinance on every property in the township. Township representatives met with the board, I guess that's the county board, so they could inspect the site and make a right to farm determination. It was determined that the property could be farmed but needed to be properly tilled, and then in parentheses, stumps, etc. removed, and seeded to stabilize the site. These actions were completed, including the planting of rye by Bob Huskus. Now, the question is, this person is saying that they needed to seed it and stabilize the site. In the real agreement, is that all that it says? Does it also say anything about selling it? Maybe that was just left out of this. So what I went on to say is, I recently learned that the rye crop may have been brush hog mowed, not harvested for consumption. If this is true, does the act of just planting a crop accomplish the requirement to qualify for the farmland exemption? Is the sale of the crop, donation to a food bank, or other appropriate use of the crop also needed to satisfy the farmland exemption? Does the township need proof, for example, sales receipts, donation acceptance, etc., to determine what happened to this crop, to determine if the farmland exemption still applies? So I will forward that to you.
Wow.
Interesting, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. It's just, you know, it just sort of burned me up a little bit when I know that they're really just doing an end around to plant,
Yes.
you know, cut down all the trees, plant rye for no reason, really, other than to not have to pay for all the trees that they took down.
Right.
Not to mention they're, you know, we're losing several acres of tree canopy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that'd be worth looking at.
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely, and that went to the CADB. Huh, interesting, okay.
Okay,
So there's nothing, all right, I'll look into it and see, okay,
good, okay.
if I can
So,
find.
at that point then, I would ask for a motion to open the floor to
So
public
we'll-
Yes.
comment. So move, second, somebody?
See here?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Bill, anything new?
No,
In the last hour, nothing new?
I want to go home.
He said, no, I wanna go home.
Okay,
Stay to the
Ah,
end.
man.
close, second,
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All in
Motion to
favor,
adjourn?
all in favor of having Bill go home?
All in favor for a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.